Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Edwin. In this channel I talk about how you can come to Australia through professional routes, your occupation list. So today we're talking about medical lab scientists, how you guys can come to Australia. I know I made a previous video on how medical lab scientists and technicians can come to Australia, but this one is addition to my previous video because of some new requirements and also people that are planning to come here in 2026 2027. I said 2026 2027 because it gives you opportunity to prepare. Why come to Australia as a medical lab scientist? At the moment, Australia is in their need of medical laboratory scientists and technicians, and medical laboratory science technician is in the skill occupation list. You guys are eligible for all the skill nomination visas in Australia. You're eligible for visa 189. You're also eligible for 186, 190, 491. Name any visa you can think of. For me, you don't necessarily need to start looking for an employer to sponsor you. All you need to do as a medical lab scientist is to go through this video with me. I want you to watch to the end because I'm going to tell you at the very end essential information that will help you to come here as a medical laboratory scientist or technician. Before we kickstart, there are basic requirements you need to meet if you're coming here as a medical laboratory scientist or technician. Sorry, as a medical laboratory scientist. The first one is you need to have a degree in medical laboratory science. If you have a degree in this field and you also have at least 2 years post-qualification experience as a medical laboratory scientist, then this video is for you. What are you waiting for? You've been waiting for that time, the day you call Australia your home, the day you come to Australia to live and work in your own profession. What are you waiting for? So join me in this video as I take you through the step-by-step guide on how you can come to Australia to live and work in your profession in 2026 2027. Before we continue, I have to mention here that I'm not a migration lawyer. All information I'm giving you today are verifiable. As I continue with this video, I'm going to give you a link in the description section where you can go online and verify some of this information yourself and also make decision based on what you find out in the official website of the body in charge of doing skills assessment for you guys. Just like every other profession in Australia, like a skilled worker coming to Australia, you need to do skills assessment, and the assessing body responsible for this is known as AAIMS. I have given the link in the description section of this. So if you go to the description section of this video, all you need to do is just to click on that link and it will take you to the official website of the body that will assess your skills. Here we are talking about skills assessment. Skills assessment basically involves this professional body, getting some information from you, your transcript, your university degree, and most likely your work experience, English test, just to make sure that your degree in your home country is comparable to what is obtainable here in Australia. And at the end of the day, if successful, you'll be issued skills assessment. But before we dive into that, what do you need? Basically, as I said, you need a degree in medical laboratory science, and you also need at least 2 years post-graduation experience. And one of the years, one out of the 2 years has to be in the last 5 years prior to you, lodging your application for skills assessment. So if you meet these two requirements, to be sincere, I don't know what you're still waiting for. The year is about to come to an end. I know some people have started this process and you are stating, oh, what do I do? You have someone today making this video for you to motivate you, to let you know that that vision of you coming to Australia to live and work in your own profession is very essential. If you have any question regards this process, please drop it in the comment section, or you can reach out to me through my social media handle. I'm more than happy to reply you and also help you with your question as much as I could. So the very first step you need to do if you're coming here as a medical laboratory scientist is for you to do skills assessment. As far as the skills assessment is concerned, you will need to send your university degree or transcript to the assessing body. In the description section of this video, I've added a link that will tell you about all the requirements, everything you need to provide, As far as work experience is concerned, like I mentioned earlier, you need at least 2 years post-graduation experience, and this involves you getting a verification letter from your employer. Everything you will find out in the description section of this video. If you click on that link, it will take you to the official website of this body, and they will, you know, there you can find out every information you need as far as employment is concerned. You also need international passports. This one is basic. So for me, if you have intention of going abroad or leaving your home country to go to another country, the first thing you need to do is for you to get your international passport. And again, you need English test. As I always mentioned before, if you're coming to Australia or any of these Western country, English language is key. You can't run away from it. So as far as your assessment is concerned, as a medical laboratory scientist, you need English language score. And a very good thing about Australia, there are ranges, there are options of English language tests you can choose from. There is PTE, there is IELTS General Academies, there is OET, there is a TOEFL. So there are heaps, there are options for you to choose. Then coming to the band score, if it is IELTS, you need to have at least 7 across the band. If it is PTE, you need a score of 65 across the band. OET, you need a score of B across the band. For some reasons, I'm not going to tell you like the one you're going to choose, but I personally prefer PTE. It's very easy to go because everything is computerized. All you need to do is just to practice. You can go on YouTube. There are a lot of people doing tutorials that you can join. E2 language is a is a good one. I've given a link in the description section of this video about E2 language, so you can join them and it will give you decent lessons that will help you to do well in your PTE test eventually when you book for it. And there is also one we normally use here in Australia. It's called AP Uni. It's a very good app. All you need to do is just to download the app. You can subscribe. So when you subscribe, you have access to some materials. What they do is to stimulate the real life exam. So after you've practiced, so you can do the exam, and then when you start getting the desired score, then you can book for the actual exam. So guys, what are you waiting for? So you've passed your English test. You have 2 years experience. You've gotten your verification letter from your employer. You have your degree, which if you go to the website, it will tell you the format it has to be. So your university has to send your transcript to the address stipulated in the website. Please ensure that you stick to all the information, all the requirement, the way they want you to, please stick to it, because if you don't follow the process, it will lead to delay in processing of your application. I know what that means. And usually it takes around 6 months. If everything goes all right, it takes around 6 months for this process to be completed. In terms of the fee, it will cost you around $990 to do your skills assessment. So that is not the only fee, but this is the major fee that is involved in this process. If you're talking about fee, if you're starting the process and you don't have international passport, it's going to cost you money to get your international passport. I don't know what the current fees are at the moment. You also have to factor in the cost of you sending your transcripts or processing your transcript from your university and sending it down here to Australia to the assessing body. You also have to factor in the cost of English language tests. So there are a whole lot of costs. But I know that this, for me, I see it as an investment, something that when it becomes, if it happens eventually, you are going to recover from all the expenses you've made, and you're also going to practice in a country with a state-of-art infrastructure as far as medical or laboratory science is concerned, and you'll be able to dive into the practice of your own profession and be able to impart on people's health through your knowledge as a medical laboratory scientist. So after you've gathered all this and you've submitted your application, like I said, give them 6 months. They will process your application to see if it is positive. And I believe it's going to be positive at the end of the day. So if you lodge your application as a medical laboratory scientist, if your assessment comes out, it's going to come as a medical laboratory technician. However, they will also give you the option for you to write the exam to become a medical laboratory scientist. So I want us to get this process now. So you've lodged your application and it's successful. You lodge your application as a medical laboratory scientist. When the skills assessment letter comes out, it's going to come, you're going to be assessed as a medical laboratory technician. In addition, for you being also eligible to become a medical laboratory scientist here in Australia, but that will be in stage two. That will make you to sit for the professional exams. And I know sometimes people will say this is not difficult. When you pass the first stage, if the assessment is positive and you're being classified as a medical laboratory scientist, then they will give you a pack and then they will tell you about the exam. The exam is usually conducted 2 times in a year and it's online exam. You don't need to travel anywhere to sit for these exams. You can sit for this exam in the comfort of your room. As far as you have good internet, as far as your computer system is on your desk, or your internet connection is sound, you can sit for this exam in the comfort of your room. You don't need to travel to any country. You don't need to go to UK. You don't need to go to Canada. You don't need to go to Australia. You can literally sit in the comfort of your room and pass this exam. So they're going to send you a pack after you've completed the first stage. This pack is going to let you know everything you need to know about the exam. Areas of concentration is going to be a multiple choice examination. They're also going to give you like sample questions, questions that were used in previous exams. So all this is going to prepare you, to do well in the exam. And also there is a Facebook group here for medical laboratory scientists here in Australia. I will drop the link in the description section of this video. You can join them and you interact with like scientists like you who are already here in Australia, people who are planning to come here in Australia. You can ask them questions, share experience, and that way you'll be able to smash the exam. But I have to mention here that what you need basically, you coming here, is your skill assessment letter. If it is, if you want to stop at the first stage, you'll be classified as a medical laboratory technician. But I always advise you to go the second stage of sitting for the exam to become a medical laboratory scientist. So when you pass the exam, you become a medical laboratory scientist. Now you've gotten your positive skills assessment. What is the next thing? The next stage is for you to do what is called expression of interest. In the description section of this video, I've added a link that will lead you to Immigration Australia website where you create your expression of interest. Expression of interest is just you to tell them who you are. You let them know that you've gotten your skills assessment letter as a medical laboratory technician or as a medical laboratory scientist. So they also want to know about your years of experience, your academic qualification, if you are single or married. So a whole lot of details. So at the end of the day, the system is going to give you a score. So is that score that you use to enter pool with other candidates? I want you guys to know that this profession, medical laboratory scientist, is highly recognized here in Australia. And Australia is in dire need of medical laboratory scientists or technicians because you guys have to do the test. You have to conduct the test to know what the conditions are so that you have to give the doctor something to work on. You get what I mean? So it's very, very essential. And the good thing here is that this occupation is in most of the occupation lists across the states in Australia. So you guys are eligible for all the visa options as far as Australia is concerned. So for medical laboratory technicians, you guys are eligible for visa 190, which is state independent visa. You also qualify for 491 visa, which is regional visa. Then what about employer sponsored visa? That one is constant K for you guys. But if you go the extra step of sitting for your exams, passing your exams, then you also be qualified to go for the federal visa, which is 189. So the options are so much for you guys. So if I were you, and you are still sitting down there and you have all these qualifications, you have 2 years experience, you've completed your degree as a medical laboratory scientist, you are planning for your English test or you've gotten your English test, I want you to hit on this video, share this video to your friends who are medical laboratory scientists who are interested in coming to Australia. I want you guys to be in Australia in 2026, 2027, because it takes time. So that is why you need to plan. There is a planning stage. So you need to gather all your documents. You need to pass your English test, launch that application, and start your journey to come and live here in Australia. And eventually, when you come to Australia, don't forget to say hi to me. Like I said before, it's very essential for you to, have a plan. It takes about 1, 2, 3 years, depending, for this process to be completed. What actually takes time is when you launch your expression of interest. It takes a bit of time. Well, it depends on the individual. Some people are lucky and maybe within 2 months, 1 month, they're invited. So at the point of invitation, you now have to apply for your visa. Then you also have to wait again. But the good thing here is that medical laboratory science is in priority occupation list. So what that means that when you lodge your application, your visa is going to process fast because you guys are highly needed here in Australia. So I will recommend to you guys to, go through this video, share it to your friends who are medical laboratory scientists, start the process as soon as possible, and I can't wait to see you in Australia. If you've liked this video, if this video has impacted you and you've gotten something from this video, why don't you hit that subscribe button so that when next time I release my video, you'll be notified, and that way we can, develop this channel and make more people come here to talk to us about various ways healthcare professionals and other professionals can come to Australia to live and work in their own occupation. Thank you guys. I will see you in my next video. Until then, do have a nice day. Bye bye. It's Edwin.